Welcome on in to Final Out. It's Brodes hanging out with you tonight until 11 o'clock right here on WIP 215-592-9494. If you want to climb in and react to the nonsense as they fall 8-0. They get shut out 8-0. It was unacceptable to put that effort on the field. Now look, between Texas and Cincinnati, they went 4-2 in a 6-game stretch. And when you look at that from a bird's eye view, pretty good. You would take it. The issue is, it can't look like that, where the ball is flying all over the field. You're throwing it all around the diamond. It's childish. Romano doesn't move off the mound. So defensively, they're out of whack. Then he gives up the grand slam because he's a stiff. I can't take it. I can't take a loss that looks that ugly. I can take 4-2 in a 6-game stretch on the road. What stinks, though, is you won the first 4. So to finish off, losing 2, it's a nasty taste in my mouth, but 8-0, the offense non-existent, and just playing silly, stupid baseball. A dumb brand of baseball. Brandon Marsh in the outfield. That type of stuff eats me alive. And I hate to do this to you, but you're going to have to hear Scott Fransky on the call giving us the description of what was one of the worst defensive plays of the year.
Swing and a broken bat floater into left. That'll be a base hit. Marsh plays it on 2 hops. Throw home. Hayes coming. The throw is too high. Hayes will score. Now the runner takes off for third, and the throw gets away past Kemp. Goes down the line, and Marte with a Little League homer circles the bases, and the Reds lead 4-0.
Come on, man. Come on. What are we doing? For a second, I thought I accidentally changed the channel to ESPN for one of those Little League games. No, it's the Phillies trying to prove to you they can go win a championship. What? Now, I've been a lot more positive as of late, so I don't want 2 games to sway me so heavily. They're not, but I'm aggravated. I'm pissed off because it doesn't have to look that terrible. Believe it or not, there is a way where the same outcome of losing the final 2 in Cincinnati happened, but you look like a more competent baseball team within the loss, and then you just chalk it up to, hey, they were playing red hot, they won 4 straight, they were finding ways, it's just evening out a bit, and you move on to a 4-game set against the Nationals where you should handle business, and at a minimum, take 3. But it's how it looked. It's the details of the game where you were so lost with reality of the sport. You had no clue how to play the game from a fundamental level. That I can't accept. Let's get to the wrap-up, which is sponsored by Roto-Rooter. When plumbing problems hit, wrap them up quick and call Roto-Rooter. Their team tackles clogs and leaks so you can stay in the game. Roto-Rooter, your MVP for plumbing solutions. So, not much offensively for your Phils. Whenever they did end up getting a base runner, you can't produce enough to get them across home plate. So, in the 4th, Marte doubled, which gave the Reds the lead, 1-0. Hayes doubled in the 6th inning, which gave them a 2-rip lead. And then from there, you saw it kind of just totally slip right through your fingers. Just being involved in the game, you blink, and it's 8-0 in the 6th and 7th combined. They were just rallying, putting runs together, and just a really bad way to end this Cincinnati series after how you started it in Game 1. It was so promising, thinking, hey, you could be 5-1 after these 6 games. I didn't see this coming. Not after Game 1 and the win, after sweeping Texas. It's disappointing. Let's talk to the people. 215-592-9494. Real quickly, though. Casty down to 256. Bryce Harper, 3 Ks. Bottom of the lineup, we've been praising it for a reason. It's been helping the momentum. It's been pushing you forward. Not there today. Things we monitor as we move forward. Let's go to Bill in New Jersey. What's happening, Bill?
Hey, Brodes. How you doing, my friend?
Good. How are you?
Okay. Just a little disappointed. I mean, I've been calling you guys and saying the bats are going to go silent here and there. The bats went silent tonight. That's not good. The Reds have three really great pitchers. I think one of them is actually on the DL. They brought their guys out. They did well, but I think we should probably won the series, especially after Friday night. Don't you? I think we probably should have won the series.
100%, no doubt about it. And that's what's irritating. And it's not so much about, well, you just got to watch the Mets, and the Mets keep crumbling, so you're going to be fine in the NL East. It's more about selling us that you are legit. And I still am opening up my heart and willing to go down swinging with this group. Not because I really, really believe in them, but it's just the time of the year where my mentality switches into postseason mode and let's give it a whirl type of thing. But yeah, I think people hide behind the fact that the Mets are starting to really fall out of it and lose games grossly, and they think that there's more wiggle room for the Phillies. But I don't look at it that way. I think, just like you said, you got to win this series. It was right there for the taking, so you can prove to us that you are great. And from that mindset, I'm extremely disappointed.
I am too, especially. I mean, we won Friday. We had Ranger and Sanchez. Why wouldn't you think we would win one of those two games? Even if and Ranger had a tough game yesterday. That was something else. But when you got Ranger and Sanchez coming, you think you're going to win this series.
At least one of the games. Yeah, Bill, you're absolutely right. And thank you for the call. And you would think it was Sanchez because the common trend of Ranger Suarez continues, which is when the second half hits, he's not the same guy. And it's so bad that he is now starting to bark with the umpires behind the plate. Whether he had the right to do it or not, whether he got screwed by the ump or not, the reality is I've never seen him crack the way that he cracked when he was on the bump. He was showing physical signs of breaking down, getting out of his own head, or he couldn't get out of his own head. He was really angry, and I think it's because he knows, it's happening again. But to your point, if it's not Ranger and you do fall that game, okay, you have Sanchez, one of your studs, one of your superstars, really your 1B to your Zach Wheeler all year long, and you get beat with him on the mound in a game where you get shelled. Now, his stat line isn't that egregious. He had a quality start going 6 innings, and this is your pitch count, which is brought to you by the Plumbers Union Local 690, protecting the health of the nation. Visit plumber690.org. 6 innings, 3 earned runs, 7 hits allowed, 1 walk batter for his 81 pitches. When Romano comes in, that's when it truly got to the worst level. And no surprise, he's been terrible. You want to talk about how bad Dave Dombrowski swung and missed on Max Kepler? Multiply that by 75 trillion, and that's Jordan Romano. You can't use this guy. You can't use him. Believe it or not, you can actually make the argument that Kepler can play because of how bad Nick has been in right field, and you might be able to slot that left-handed bat in there. And I'm not telling you I like that. Tells you more about how bad Nick is, and that's another swing and a miss by Dave when paying Nick that much bread and that much dough for you to debate if Max Kepler's left-handed stick, what his 205 batting average left-handed stick, is more serviceable than maybe what Nick can provide for you. It just gives you more of a domino effect of some of the bad decisions made by Dave, but you can't use Romano. You just can't use Romano at all. By the way, I just threw up in my mouth actually talking about Kepler being a serviceable bat. He's not. But it's really just the state of the outfield and how they're so desperate they have to try and plug these holes somehow, some way. And, well, when Max Kepler thought his MLB life was on life support, he continued breathing and kept giving himself more attempts because, well, he came up clutch a few times. But anyway, yikes. Can't believe I just said Max Kepler might be something serviceable in the outfield. I'm disgusted with myself. Let's go to Heavy. What's happening, Heavy?
Yo, Brodes, what's good?
What's up? I feel whenever we talk, I have no idea which way we're taking it. So where are we today?
Brodes, what I'd really like to see, when are the Phillies going to step it up to that next level? Because I'll tell you what, we're looking at the competition. The Brewers have had multiple 11-plus game winning streaks in the last 4 weeks. When are the Phillies going to get it up to that next level? They didn't score a run this entire series before the seventh inning. And the only reason they won the first game was because Cincinnati's bullpen just totally blew it. I'm just waiting for these guys to show that they can play at that World Series championship level. Yes, they've played solid. You know, they've had a lot. You know, they've won a lot of good games. But I'm still just waiting for them to show that they can play at a World Series championship level. Because you look at them right now. Look at the Brewers. Dude, they're 20 and 4 since the All-Star break. 11 of those wins are winning games by at least four runs more. Like, they're just straight up demolishing teams. And you look at the Phillies, and their offense can't score runs against the Reds are okay, but they're going to have to really, really grind and play well to make the playoffs. Most likely, the Reds aren't a playoffs team. And it's just, dude, when are the Phillies going to step it up to that next level? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. It's a fair question because what I think I was convincing myself when they won 4 straight and they were finding ways to win, as you alluded to, right? The offense wasn't necessarily great early. The other pitchers throwing a perfect game. Abbott, right? He's throwing fantastic. You pantsed them the last time you saw them. So, hey, you know, late in the game, you find a way, you keep grinding. I thought maybe that was a characteristic that I could buy into and maybe could be part of their DNA, and they win 4 straight, and it felt different. That was the first time a 4-game win streak this year. It hit me where I'm like, hey, you know, it seems as if they're building something here, and for it to collapse to the point where they're getting shut out 8-0 and throwing the ball around like they're children, it's just such a massive difference from where I was 2 days ago to what I just witnessed tonight, and that makes me very angry. The difference in quality of baseball from 4 games, you know, the 4 games to start this road trip to now, how can it be that inconsistent? But we've watched this team a lot. It's what they are.
Bros, I was in the same boat. You know, we were talking the other night that I thought the Phillies were looking really solid, but then it just. This has been their MO for the last, you know, three plus years. Their offense can just out of nowhere just die. And I'm sorry, but if you want to be a World Series championship team, you just can't do that. And that's what I'm worried about going into the postseason. Is this offense just out of nowhere going to just blow up?
It probably will. I mean, if we're being honest, right? It probably will.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
You know, it probably will. Because you look at the guys on this team, you know, the only reason they won that first game was because the back end of the lineup actually showed up for once. You know, their top guys had, you know, pretty much a poor series. And I'm just looking at this other competition. I mean, dude, I'm just hoping the Brewers are just gonna get cold towards the end. I mean, it's tough to remain hot like this for so long, especially when you got a month and a half left of baseball.
Sure.
But I look at them and you look at the Phillies, and it's just like, dude, they're obviously a better team, and They do all the little things that the Phillies
It's
don't.
night and day, Heavy, and I appreciate the call. It's night and day when you see a team like Milwaukee. Now, yes, it's hard to keep up that pace, and most likely at some point there's going to be a dip and more of a dose of reality. But what really stings for me is I thought we were turning the corner. I didn't know if we were going to be the Brewers, okay? Truth be told, I didn't really anticipate it reaching that mark here in the second half. But what I thought was going to happen when they won 4 straight was they would win maybe 9 of 11. They would win maybe 10 of 12. They can give us a mini run of solid play. You got the Nats up. Now, let's say they sweep the Nats. Right, I'm not a big math guy, but they're 4-2 now. They win 4 games. Then I guess that would be 8-2 in 10 games. You know, is there something to them sweeping the Nationals? And then, right now, as we talk about it, we'll probably say, it's not really relevant because they're that bad of a team. But after they win 3 consecutive games against the Nats, and it looks pretty convincing, then we go, they're the team on the schedule. What do you want them to do? They can't control that. You're supposed to beat up on bad teams. So would that change your perspective? And then you come home and you win the first 2 against Seattle, drop the 3rd game like they tend to do, have a chance to sweep, but don't fall flat on their face. But if they take all of Washington and they take the first 2 against Seattle, that could be 10-2 in 12 games. So I guess my dreams are still alive even after this disaster. See the type of circles I walk myself into? I'm sick in the head. 215-592-9494. That's the phone number. Coming up next, I will get into the biggest takeaway of the game and take your phone calls. It's Brodes. It's final out. It's 94 WIP. It looked so promising. Winning 4 straight. You kick the Rangers' ass. You win game 1 in Cincinnati. It's set up for you to, at the worst, 5-1. Which the morale would be so much different, even with the flop in game 3. If you were to at least win game 2 in this series, better feelings all around the city. But when it's that embarrassing and that disturbing and that fundamentally flawed, it brings you back to why I was so scared for so long with this group. Because they don't play smart baseball. Because they do stupid things. And then their offense goes cold. And this is just a reminder, Brodes, you can convince yourself all you want that you're going to open up your heart and just embrace a ride. But you know that part of this nasty team still lives. It's just the truth. The gross part of this squad, while you can open up your heart in so many different ways, the truth is there is a foundation of crappy baseball in the Phillies clubhouse. And it's going to pop up. And until you recognize and realize that and let it sink in, then your expectations are going to be out of whack. And I guess that's where I'm at as I try to convince myself there's a chance that this team could do something. The biggest takeaway of the game is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. My biggest takeaway is Nick Castellanos, you need to figure it the hell out. This is so bad. So bad. Disgusting. 0 for 4. Yeah, I don't even know if disgusting does it, fully justice here. Couple of Ks. You got to think this. I can't believe I got to explain this again, but this is just where we are. Nick Castellanos was brought in here to be a power bat from the right side. JT Realmuto at age 76 is batting cleanup over him. Okay? That is awful. That's awful. He had one job when coming here, and that is power from the right side. JT Realmuto, at this time of his career, is more significant. If that isn't a smack in the face to us fans, then I don't know what is. He's got 15 homers, hitting .256. Talk about a disappointment. But yet he's going to fight the manager for getting yanked in a defensive replacement situation. Okay. Yeah, because you must be out there, Nick. You must. I'm debating on if Kepler's more worthy. Let that sink in, too. Let's go to Rob in Delco. Yo, Rob.
Brodes, how you doing, buddy?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Listen, let me tell you something. I got a recipe for you and all of Delco. But before I get to that, when I talked to you 2 times ago, it was Surfside. Time before that, it was Mad Dog. I stepped it up to Old English 800 tonight after that slot. Okay, bro? I'm working my way to getting help after that, okay? Because it's just getting worse and worse, my drinking problem, after watching these Phils, okay, bros?
I feel you, dude. I really do.
I'm stepping off my alcohol level. But it's just, and I got to get up 5 o'clock in the morning for work, but I don't care because I need something to calm me down because they're like that girlfriend, bros, or guy, well, you know, whatever way. They're hot, and they promise they won't cheat on you anymore, so you get sucked back in. You know, we win 2, 3, 4 games in a row, like Heavy was saying. You know, you got the Brewers who are just off the chart. And then they cheat on you. And then you're like, nah, I don't want nothing to do with them. And then they yeah, no, we'll take us back. You take them back, and then they get hot, and then they cheat on you. And that, thank God the Eagles are starting, bros, because I watched the 3 plays. Sack, pick 6 by Cooper DeJean. After watching every Phillies game, I go to my drink and watch those 3 plays because that's what gets me through the night. You know, I got Pretty Boy in left field. I got Lone. Hey, you know what, bro? I got a stat for you, okay? This is since the All-Star break, okay? Breaking news. Ready? Guess who this guy is? Since the All-Star break, batting 195, has a negative 0.6 WAR, 1 home run, 3 doubles, 21 Ks, and 3 walks. Just take a guess who you think that might be.
That's got to be Nicholas.
That's low and away in right field. Ding, ding, ding. You just won the prize, bro. I mean, is this it? I know he's got a year left, but, I mean, we're done with him regardless. You know, unless he goes on a run and carries us to the World Series, which is not going to happen. Are we done with him?
I think so. I think so because there's 1 year left on the deal, and I think at that point it's more tradable. And I wonder if he's feeling that internally with everything. I know I made a joke about it, but with everything that went down with Rob, and now they're doing those 4 outfielder thing, and the funny nonsense that Rob Thompson threw out there in Texas that the reason Nick wasn't in the lineup on Saturday is because of the way the field is in Texas. It's tough for these outfielders. I mean, we're not stupid. We can read between the lines. He doesn't want to have Nick in there because he's not performing high enough, and Nick knows that. So now I think he's taking it to the field, and it's a reason why he's not succeeding is because he's doing a little bit of the Alec Boehm thing.
It's just I'm done with this. You know what I mean? Like I'm just if it doesn't get done this year, okay? And I'm telling you right now, somebody was talking a couple. The Reds have good pitching. Get out of here. The Reds pitching. Come on. I mean, we're going to be facing elite pitching come the postseason, and we're getting shut down. And I know it happens in baseball, the ebbs and flows, but this is just a consistent thing with this team. And the hitting has broken our hearts the last couple postseasons. And if it doesn't get done this year, like I love Marsh, you know, but the Marshes and the Harrison Baders and low and away in right field, it's going to get blown up, right, bro? We're going to break this up, right? Has to.
Oh, Rob, if this thing, and I've been through, and thank you, Rob, I appreciate it as always, man. Love hearing from you. I don't want to get too into the thick of it, but depending on how this finishes, we're talking Dave Dombrowski's job status. At least I am, depending on how this finishes. If it's an NLDS loss, I want him fired. If it's an NLCS appearance, I'll see how it plays out, and I will react accordingly from there. But if this thing fails miserably, and we're talking about just straight up, the wild card rounds don't mean anything to me. That's not even playoffs yet. The NLDS is when the playoffs start in my eyes. So that means you don't even do anything beneficial in the postseason if they fall like they did last year. You need major change. Boehm needs to be gone. Stott, obviously, as much as I love his defense, the bat hasn't been up to standard. Nick needs to be traded. You got to figure out center field and left field. There's a lot to work. So that's a new third baseman, a new left fielder, a new center fielder, a new second baseman, and a new right fielder. Did I mention that? A whole new outfield? Is that what I just came up to conclusion with here?
Whole new outfield, second base, third base. JT's a free agent, maybe catcher. Schwarber, you hope you re-sign him. DH.
You would have to re-sign Schwarber in my eyes. So Can he play left field for you? Is that a way to fill one of your holes?
I mean,
pay him a
have
bigger,
to.
pay him a bigger contract, and now you're asking him to be older and go play in the field. That would be a mess.
Put him in center field. Why not?
I can't rule it out if Dave Dombrowski's here because all he does is throw crap at the wall and see what sticks at this point. Let's go to Amadeo. What's up, Amadeo?
Same old, I guess. I think the thing with trying to sell ourselves back into the Phillies, it's proceed with caution. I think that's the good way to describe it.
Yeah, I agree. No, you're absolutely right. You're so right. This is what it is, Amadeo, truthfully. I am doing it because, one, I do think it's right when you are this type of team entering a postseason push to, they are good, but we're not blindly doing it where we're naive here. I think we all know we're opening up the heart, but the truth is they're not good enough. And I think we're doing both at the same time. We're recognizing they're not good enough, but we're willing to just say, hey, let's see what happens because crazy things do happen. That's sort of the mindset, I think.
And I think I put myself into a worse mindset because I have notes right here in front of me because I'm a psychopath and I research. Because it just feels like I know with the past few games with the bottom of the lineup contributing a lot, and we knew that wasn't really sustainable, but it was still a fun brand of baseball that they were playing. But I have the lineup in front of me, and their numbers in August, like besides 2 or 3 players, are pretty bad. They're pretty bad.
Are you saying just specifically the bottom of the lineup is bad, or do you mean the lineup in general?
The lineup in general, like the month of August in particular. There's only 2 or 3 players in the lineup that have an average above like 250.
Is it Trey and Kyle? I don't even know. Or JT
No.
maybe? I don't know.
The two best players actually have been Marsh and Stott. They have averages above 300.
Marsh, I should have guessed because he's just been on fire. But wow, that is very eye-opening.
Stott has a 360 average this month with a 520 slug.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm just guessing here. He's probably got significantly less at-bats because Sosa's playing.
Yeah, this is I think they played 12 games this month or something. I think Stott's played in 10 of them.
Okay.
Or 10 or 9. Marsh numbers are good. JT has an above 270 average, like 278, so it's solid. Turner's numbers are not good, 208 average. Kyle Schwarber's numbers are not good, 217 average, with the inflated with the home runs, which is still very fun, but still Kyle Schwarber has been off at the plate. Bryce has been the worst out of everybody.
It's been bad.
196 average, 245 on base.
We're falling back into the is the wrist bothering him again type of thing because you can't survive with those numbers. And back to the Trey point, he's hitting 282 on the season. Like there was a time where he was hitting 312 and 315 and his OBP was through the roof. And I remember telling everyone, if he is going to be a non-power guy and he's going to hit 315, I can live with that. But I can't live with 290. I can't live with 292. It's got to be 315 of nonstop singles, nonstop doubles. He's got to be pesty and annoying and just so hard to deal with. If you're going from 315 to 282 this deep into the season with all those at-bats, that's a monstrous shift in what he's doing at the plate, and this is unacceptable. You can't survive with this. Him and Bryce and the rest of the guys that you're mentioning, you can't win this way.
I just looked at Nick's numbers again. Oh my, 163 average, 163 on base. Oh my God!
I know, and he never does anything. He doesn't walk. He doesn't do anything unless he's got one finish that is positive. And thank you, Amadeo. He can step up to the plate, and it's either he's striking out or he's swinging at the first pitch and he's flying out or grounding out. But there's only one good result that you can get out of Nick. Where in other guys, if you're not going to get a single, you can still earn a walk. Essentially, I'm saying the guy doesn't walk. I'm just trying to say he doesn't walk. I don't know why I'm vomiting out my mouth, can't get it out. But it's like, dude, you can't do anything. You swing at the first pitch, you fly out, you ground out all the time, you don't work good at bats, you barely walk. I mean, what are we doing here? And I'm starting to believe that he understands that this organization is fed up with him. The manager is fed up with him. He's going to start losing playing time, which is bothering him. And now he's soaking. It's bad. Starting to have that domino effect. He doesn't do anything. It's unbelievable. August has been bad. And yeah, I can't live with a 282 Trey Turner. That's horrible. I'm sorry. For a guy that can't hit home runs. And by the way, Nick has 15. Trey can't hit home runs to save his life. He's got 12. Nick has 15. Trey has no power. Trey can't hit home runs. He's not capable. And he's got 12. That's a disgrace if you're Nick. And the 282 batting average for Trey is a disgrace. What do you got for me, Luke? I know you got so much to say over there.
So,
what?
For Castellanos, just to further prove your point, of the qualified hitters for on-base percentage, this isn't the OPS, this isn't batting average, just on-base percentage, there's 158 qualified hitters. He's 143rd. He stinks. You know who's actually better? You know who has a better on-base percentage than him? He's 2 spots ahead of Nick Castellanos.
Huh. He's on the Phillies?
Yes. He's 2 spots ahead of Castellanos.
I'm trying to think of someone who's egregious. Rojas?
Max Kepler. Max Kepler has a better on-base percentage than Nick Castellanos. This guy's been awful. He has been a 0. How are you batting under 200 in the second half? He's batting 170-something since the start of August. And he's still 5th in the lineup? He's still bat 5th tonight. Are we serious? I swear, if Rob Thompson doesn't either bench him or move him down in the lineup tomorrow, he must be afraid of him. He must be afraid of just him in the clubhouse causing problems. It's ridiculous to me. He stinks.
Let me play devil's advocate, all right? You take him out and put in Max Kepler. Guess what? Your lineup stinks. Do you know what I mean? And trust me, I get it. I can't have him batting 5th. Maybe, as you alluded to, you bat him deeper in the lineup and there's less pressure or whatever. But let's be honest. If you are flip-flopping Nick Castellanos with Max Kepler, you're losing this baseball game 8-0.
Right, but Max Kepler is like a platoon guy. He's every other day. He might play one day, and then Bader comes in the next day. Nick Castellanos has been a guy that's playing every single day. The only times he hasn't played is when he allegedly hurt his knee in New York, when he yelled at Topper in the dugout, and then when the turf was too hard. Those are the only times he has not been in the starting lineup this year. He has to be on some kind of platoon. He has to be an every other day guy where he's only going against lefties or he's only going against these. You can't have him in the lineup every single day.
I agree with you. Now let me play devil's advocate again. What if... And I know Dave Dombrowski publicly mentions all the time, well, that's in Rob Thompson's hands, and he's the manager and he can decide. But there is something called you're getting paid a lot of money, and we brought you in here and gave you a fat paycheck, so we're going down with that decision. What if Rob isn't really given the opportunity to bench a Nick Castellanos because, one, there aren't any reasonable alternatives, and two, they paid him a lot of money to be in this lineup, to be a game changer, and they're going down swinging with that philosophy, knowing that it's not going to work.
It wouldn't surprise me if that was the case. It's almost like it's like in the NFL when you trade for a guy mid-season and you have to keep trotting him out there. Like Bryce Huff, they kept putting him out there every single week until he, got hurt and then was on the IR and then never really came back. It's like Vic Fangio didn't want him out there, but you paid him all this money, so you had to have him starting on the defensive line. Castellanos, it's probably the same thing, and I get it, but just give the other guys a chance. Give the other guys more playing time. You just can't. Not a chance. Not a chance. I'm just trying to think.
I know you are. Here's the problem. You're saying, and you're not wrong, because I agree with you, but I'm just really shining the light on the bigger issue here. We've spent months, and I mean months, screaming that Max Kepler should be DFA'd. Now, you're rightfully saying we got to find another option than Nick Castellanos. You must give Max Kepler an opportunity to see if he can do anything.
Yep.
My point is...
it's bad.
Yes. Yes.
It's bad, man.
Yeah. Where's Rojas? Right. My point is we are idiots because we're now trying to find answers, but we know we've tried all these options before. They all stink. They're all not good enough, and now we're just rotating this 4-man outfield, and they're all not good enough. Anyway. That's where we're at.
Doing a 3-man weave between these outfielders, and they always miss the layup at the end.
That's
every single time.
See, I was going hockey with the 3-man weave. You went basketball. Come on, dude.
Yeah. Well, that's the different. You're a hockey guy and basketball guy.
You know what I haven't heard in a while?
Here?
You puck it up sounder, dude.
Oh, yeah, sure. Do you want to just to cheer you up?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, puck it up.
Puck it up.
Yeah.